Right, now if I may position you properly. There we are. Let's have a look at the UFC 105, and I'll tell you my thoughts on the card. Now you have to bear in mind that I haven't actually seen a lot of this event yet. But I thought I'd do a recap video anyway. I am hoping to see the next one, so next week there will be a recap video that's a little bit more, proper, so to speak. Where are we? Right, here we go. And my computer's fast as well. Right, we're looking at, start at the beginning, Andre Winner and Rolly Delgado. I thought that Andre Winner would win this one, which he did. Where are we? Winner got a knockout in the first round. It was Leon Roberts who was the referee, who of course I know from Cage Gladiators. You can see my interview with him on my profile if you care to look. Andre Winner hadn't had such a good time before Tough, if you look at his record. Let's move on. Alexander Gustaffson and Jared Hamman, I said I didn't really care about. If anybody wants to know, Gustaffson won by knockout in the first. Paul Kelly and Denis. Now I went for Paul Kelly here. The first round is scored by Sherdog for Siver. It looks like Paul Kelly had quite a lot of support from the English crowd, but other than that, in the second round, something happens. Where is it? Oh yes, Siver lands a spinning back kick to the midsection, to the torso, and Kelly never recovers from that. Apparently he's taken out by the help of his team, so I hope he sort of recovers from that. Now this is interesting, isn't it? Matt Riddle versus Nick. Now, I made a point in my UFC predictions of saying I thought that Matt Riddle would probably lose. I was quite nice about it, but Matt Riddle was not impressed. Of course, he said that Nick couldn't fight, and what would I know, basically. It went into round 3. Sherdog says that Nick won both of the 2 rounds before. Mark Goddard was the referee. If you care to take a look, you will see that I know him from Cage Gladiators as well. Small world, isn't it? And I have an interview with him as well. So there we are. So after Nick wins both rounds, on their feet by the looks of it. The third round, it looks like it was a GMP stoppage on the ground. So there we are. Terry Eatim and Shannon Gockety. I went for Terry Eatim, and Terry Eatim won in the second. The first round was scored very, very close indeed. I think a lot of that was on its feet. The second round, looks like Eatim got the takedown sort of through a guillotine attempt. They rolled around a little bit, and then it was a triangle that eventually, a body triangle that helped with the guillotine finishing off Gockety by submission. Paul Taylor and John Hathaway. I said I thought that John Hathaway would probably win this one. He did. The official scores 30-27 and 30-26 for Hathaway. And Sherdog has scored all 3 rounds for Hathaway too. It looks like a lot of it was fought on the ground, but they were on their feet as well. There we are. Ross Pearson and Aaron Riley. Now, I went for Ross Pearson here, but I didn't quite know how he was going to win. And a lot of people said, oh no, they thought that Aaron Riley would win because of his experience. In fact, it ended in the second round. The first round, Sherdog scored to Pearson, which was quite good. Looks like they started on their feet. There was some sort of clinch at some point. And Pearson is getting the better of this exchange. Riley tries takedowns but runs out of time. In the second round, it looks like a sort of beginning exactly like the first, except that this time Riley's nose seems to get, well, probably broken. Mark Goddard was the referee. He called for a doctor and the bout was stopped. James Wilkes and Matt Brown. Can't remember who I went for here. Sherdog says Brown won the second, Wilkes won the first, and it was ended in the third by ground and pound stoppage. Leon Roberts was the referee there. So they've got some good referees for these English cards, at least. Looks like round 3 was mostly fought on the ground. And Wilkes was trying for a submission, but ended up on the receiving end there. Michael Bisping versus Denis Kang. First round, Sherdog gave to Kang. Really, because it looks like it was taken. Bisping was taken down pretty quickly, and then he was taken down when he was knocked to the ground, basically. And then Kang just tried with submission after submission, but ran out of time. Second round, it looks like pretty much the same, except that this time Bisping ended up on top and seems to have got the better of it. And that's what happened. Yep, TKO stoppage in the second there. Mike Swick versus Dan Hardy went all the way to decision. 30-27 twice and 29-28 once to Dan Hardy, which a lot of people were not expecting. I had hoped, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. And it does seem to have been, like I predicted, a stand-up war. I bet Swick's quite upset about that, really. This probably puts Dan Hardy now in line for a title. Now, the main event was Randy Couture and Brandon Vera. 3 rounds. It did go to decision. Right, this is interesting. Sherdog gives round 1 to Couture, round 2 and 3 to Vera. All 3 judges go 29-28 for Randy Couture, but a lot of people on the forum have said it was a bogus decision. If it was, then you really can't say it's anything to do with a state athletic commission, because England doesn't have one. I don't know about that. I am a bit disappointed because I thought Vera would win. A lot of people are saying that it was a very boring fight as well. So a boring fight followed by what they thought might have been a bogus win. You know, I feel a bit sorry for Brandon Vera, but this could, of course, be Couture's last stand, really. I think he's falling slightly out of favour.